They are cool because of the way they work. Everything. Yeah, robots are great. They're a big part of our way of life. They show up in sci-fi movies and novels all the time, and as technology improves, real-life robots are becoming more and more common in our society. But what is it about robots that makes him so interesting? From robota, a word in the Chiesa language. In other words, they did what a medieval farmer had to do for his medieval lord without getting paid. It's true that robots have been around for a long time, but the idea of them has been around for a long time. You know Daedalus? It is said in Greek myth that he made wings for himself and his son Icarus. People thought Daedalus was very good at making things look real and move on their own. He also made statues that could talk on their own sounds like a robot, and in Homer's Iliad references to god of metallurgy and fire. Yeah, but those robots are not real. Were there any real robots made a long time ago? I don't think were many real robots made a long time ago. There are a lot of stories in early literature about automata in ancient Greece and China. One of the oldest surviving is called the Antikythera mechanism, and it was used by the ancient Greeks to figure out the positions of different astronomical objects. During the European Renaissance, Leonardo da Vinci may have designed and built several automata. In the 18th century, some of the best watchmakers in Europe would make automata to show off their skills. And then there was the legendary artist and inventor Jacques de Vaucanson. It turns out that he was also a French mechanic in the 1730s. He made 3 automata, one of which was a drunk player, another was a fruit player, and the most famous one of them all was the defecating duck, which he made. It was a duck, and it could flap its wings to move around. The people of Paris couldn't get enough of it, so they lined up around a building to see it. Vaucanson's automata were a big hit with intellectuals at the time. But now they're almost completely forgotten. It was a big mystery to me to figure out what it was about Vaucanson's automata that really caught the imagination of French people in the 18th. There was a time when everyone thought the universe was a machine that God made. Political philosophers talk about how the government was a machine too, because they thought the government was a machine too. If he's a good king, God is like the engineer of this thing. It's also important to note that there was a big change in medical science in the 80s. Doctors were trying to make medicine into a real science and get rid of all the superstitious ideas about bodies that have been around before. They said that the human body is a machine, like this pump. Humans find things that seem to cross the line between living and non-living interesting. This is because it seems to both break the rules of nature and be fun at the same time. And I love the reactions that you get even today, like the one that people are like robots, because that's so funny and interesting. The next thing I want to do is see if it's possible to understand who we are at the end of our search for humankind. The best compliment I can give you is call you machine, but the worst thing I can do is to call you automaton. So, is it okay for robots to be good, bad, or just pooping ducks? Do I love or hate them? Are we really robots, or are we going to be?
I think the existence of robot is good for us because me as a culinary student, I will prefer to have a robot to help me to do my work. I had rather do my work alone, but if there is one, why not?
From my standpoint, I think that robot does make a human's life more easier compared to our lifestyle. For example, the existence of drawing machine alone can save a lot of time, especially for students with very packed schedule. Students like us can just right away fold the clothes without have to wait, which can save a lot of time for a student like us, and it helps us to be more focused on our studies and doing the assessments given on the college. So that is one of the reasons why robot makes humans life easier.